It was supposed to be an ordinary evening, one of those quiet nights defined by routine. We shared a simple dinner, watched a movie neither of us cared much about, the kind of evening that settles in when love becomes a comfortable pattern. Or so I believed. She was laughing softly at something on her phone, its faint light casting a glow across her face. For a brief second, I glimpsed a name on her screen. A man's name unfamiliar, yet it sent a sharp pang through my chest. She caught my glance and quickly turned her phone over, brushing it off with a chuckle. "It's nothing," she said casually, "just someone I know." But when someone hides a nothing, it's a clue it's something more. I tried to push aside the discomfort, to let the night unfold as if nothing had changed. Yet the unease lingered. Her laughter felt forced, her touch brief, her eyes drifting to a place I couldn't follow. I resisted the urge to confront her, to let accusations spill out. Instead I observed. It didn't take long to see the signs. She stayed awake long after I'd gone to sleep, her phone now secured with a lock more impenetrable than ever, her smiles saved for messages I wasn't meant to read. Slowly, I became a shadow in my own home, while she transformed into a stranger wearing the face of the woman I once held dear. The truth unraveled one evening. She was in the shower, steam drifting through the air, when her phone buzzed on the bedside table. I told myself not to touch it, convinced myself I could resist. But my hand moved, driven by a truth my heart still fought against. The screen lit up with his name, not just one message, but a flood of texts, images, shared moments, and plans for a future that didn't include me. There were private jokes, affection, the kind of happiness we once had. This wasn't a momentary lapse. It was deliberate, intricate, deep. She hadn't just wandered. She had carefully begun to write me out of her life. I didn't wait for her to step out of the shower. I didn't demand explanations or sit through half-truths. I walked to the wardrobe, grabbed a bag, packed only the essentials, and left. No letter, no words, just silence. She never thought I'd go. But that was because she no longer knew who I was. The days that followed blurred into a fog. I checked into a small hotel, ignored her calls, let her messages pile up unanswered. At first she begged. "Where are you? Please let's talk. This isn't fair. Let me explain." But what explanation could erase her choice? She had made her decision, and I had made mine. I blocked her number, deleted our shared memories, and wiped her presence from my life. Of course, you can't truly erase someone you once loved. You can only quiet their memory until it fades to a distant murmur. 2 weeks later, I moved into a modest apartment, a fresh start. Slowly, I began to breathe again. Some nights, in the haze of half-sleep, I'd reach across the bed, expecting her warmth. Habits can be cruel. But over time, the silence grew gentler, the pain less sharp, no longer cutting as deeply. 6 months later, I turned a corner, arms laden with grocery bags, and there she was standing outside my building. She looked smaller, not in size but in spirit, as if guilt had worn her down. Her voice was soft, as if no chasm had ever opened between us. "Can we talk?" she asked. I should have kept walking, but I didn't. Perhaps a part of me needed to hear her say it out loud. We sat in a nearby cafe, one she'd never visited. She stirred her coffee endlessly without drinking, her hands trembling. "I never thought you'd really leave," she whispered. That was her mistake, believing love had weakened me. It hadn't. It had given me the strength to walk away. She called it a mistake, as if months of secret messages and a life built with someone else could be a simple error. She cried, said she missed me, said nothing had felt right since I left. I believe in regret, but regret isn't love. Guilt isn't loyalty, and apologies can't heal betrayal. She admitted she wasn't asking for forgiveness, only wanting me to know she still thought of us. I nodded, but inside I felt hollow. No anger, no longing, just clarity. "You think of us," I said quietly. "But you didn't fight for us when it mattered." She had no answer. She stood there, waiting for me to give her something, anything. But I was already gone. I left her at the table and stepped back into the life I'd built without her. Some say closure comes from words. It doesn't. It comes from actions. When someone shows you how little you matter to them, believe their choices. Don't waste yourself on apologies that come too late. Sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is walk away before they ever expect you to and never look back.